Great stuff, I'm really pleased to have you on board. Let's pop down to the shed and get started. Okay, so to start designing our flyer, we're going to use one of the Get It flyer templates. So I'm going to head over to getitbydesign.co.uk and I'm just going to log in with my account information. Now that we're logged in, the first thing we need to do is select the template that we want to use. Now there are a bunch of flyer design templates and a bunch of other kind of templates that you can implement with Get It, but today we're going to focus on the flyer design templates. So let's pick one of these and just check that we're happy with the preview. Yeah, okay, so this is the one that I'm going to want to use. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that big Download Now button. This file is going to download straight to your computer. Once it's ready, we can just go ahead and open it in PowerPoint and start designing the content. So as you can see, the template's opened. It's already been pre-sized, so you don't need to worry about that. And we're going to go and use this template to create a digital flyer. You can, of course, and you should apply the rules that I'm going to go through now to creating print flyers or most other pieces of design. But I know for some people, starting with a blank page is scary, so that's why we've already added in some key items here for you to use. So you can simply edit and save, or feel free to add more bits or delete bits out of this. It's really a template designed for you to use as you need to use it. And I'd love to see you get creative with these things, so don't worry about abusing what's here. So long as you stick with the 10 key rules that I'm going to go through in a minute, you'll end up with one really seriously hot flyer. So the number one rule for your flyer is to know your plan. This is something that if you haven't already done, you should spend a few minutes writing down your thoughts and planning what you want the flyer to achieve. But as you've watched this before you start designing your first flyer, you're going to have plenty of time to kind of get that plan in place. For the sake of keeping this video simple and trying to keep it short, we'll use the example here with some dummy copy. When you download your template, you'll see notes like this to help you plan out what you say and where. It's the same format as the flyer one of our Get It members used to generate a 20,000% ROI, so we know it's a pretty good one. So let's get started then. First off, we're going to start with the headline. It's the number one thing that's going to determine if anyone else is going to read on, so it deserves kind of prime attention and it deserves pole position on your page. Resist the temptation to put anything else on your page until you have the headline sussed. You can and will jiggle this round at the end, but you want to make sure that you've got this bit capturing everyone's attention first. And the simplest way to do this is make sure your font size is the largest on the page. So to do this, use your type tool to select the copy and you can resize and change the fonts just as you would in a standard word editor. Just bring it into view here so you can see we've got the formatting palette. The font I've chosen to use is Chunk 5 and we've got it sized at 40 at the moment, but just as you would with a word editor, you can go in, you can change the size, you can make it tiny, but don't want to do that. So we're going to stick with 40 because that's quite a good size for this template. One thing you really want to make sure is that you've got plenty of space around the headline. So imagine you've kind of got this safe zone here and you're not going to put anything else around it. If your headline is sitting over a busy image, consider placing a contrasting coloured box like we've got here between the image and the text. You can play around with the transparency if you wish, so if you do find that this image you've got, you want to run the full width of the design, then you can just kind of click on your box and go down here and choose the transparency and just play around with this. And you can see how that changes and you can bring through the image behind. But with this flyer, we're only using a small section of the image and that's nicely aligned to the right, so we're actually just going to keep the transparency full. When picking your font, make sure that you choose a font which is in line with your brand. And if you haven't already got some brand style guides, then you want to have a little look at that and make sure that you're always using a font that's easy to read, that's clear, but mainly complements your brand. Avoid using a script font or a hand font as well, just for your headline. It just won't stand out enough, it's not going to be strong enough, and it won't do your message any justice. Another key thing to remember is kind of imagine that your page is divided into 3 sections. You're going to want to position your headline across that first divider in the top 2/3 of your page. So you can see here, we're taking up this top section for our headline. Now you also need to make sure that the headline is worth reading in the first place, otherwise no amount of design is going to keep your potential customers engaged if the headline, well, sucks. So a couple of things to think about here is to make sure that the main pain or benefit of what you're solving is clear. People are lazy readers and they just gonna have to get what it is that you're solving for them from the headline. So make sure you write in a way that your target market will understand. And that also shows your personality. So make sure it's fun and entertaining and something that teases you to just want to find out a little bit more. Okay, so that was quite a big bit of information there for you, but it's a biggie and we want to make sure that you spend some time getting that headline nailed. The next thing we want to look at is your subheading. An awesome headline should be backed up with a subheading, which is basically just another bit of well-crafted copy that backs up your message and keeps your potential customers engaged and reading on. Try picking a contrasting font to the one you use in your headline and make sure the font size is noticeably smaller but still bigger than the body copy. Ideally, your sub-headline should be the third largest font size on the page. So for example, if you've got a sans serif headline, try using hand font for the subheader, or if you've got a slab serif headline like we have here, then try a thin sans serif subheadline. And again, all you need to do is go and highlight the text and go up into your font box here, into your formatting palette, and just choose the font that you want to use from the drop down menu. And I've picked Arial because it's it's a simple font and it's very easy to read. It works very well with our chunk 5 font up in the headline. So let's just try changing this to a handwritten font so you can see kind of what a difference that makes to the headline. So let's say we pick this one. And you can see that it's actually, although it's hard to read, it conflicts and completely detracts from the main headline. So we're going to go back and stick with Arial for that one. The template already comes with these boxes in position for you, but if for any reason you need to change things around, as I say, this design template is there for you to use and abuse. So if you need to, you can just simply drag and drop and move your headline around, and if you want to put an image there or you want to make your headline smaller, you can do. So I'm going to just quickly put this back in place. Now don't worry too much about remembering all the rules I mentioned here. As an extra little thank you and for watching this, you'll be able to download our popular PDF guide, the 10 flyer design rules you really don't want to break, at the end of this video. So don't worry too much. The main rule I really want you to remember today though, when you're designing anything, is to let your personality shine through. I see it more often than not that the life just gets sucked out of flyers with dull professional kind of tones. And you don't have to do this, you can still have fun and make sales. So number 1 rule, get your brand personality nailed. The next thing we want you to look at is your offer and your call to action. And these are key parts of your flyer, so make sure you have these well positioned and that they're easy to read. So pick a high contrasting colour for the text. No red on yellow. See what happens when you pick colours that are too close to each other, they become difficult to read and that's not going to get the results you want. So stick to colours that are easy to read, like white on blue. People tend to look at the bottom of your page for the call to action, so it's a safe place to put this information. And we've laid that out for you here, so you can just simply go in and type your telephone number over the top, or whatever it is that your call to action is. Another big rule to remember is white space. Now this doesn't mean actual white space, but more the blank space with no content in it. We don't deal well with lots of information on a page, we're all lazy and scan read things, so you'll want to make sure there is enough interest on the page to keep the eye focused, and that means having contrast in spaces between small text, large text, images, and of course white space. And actually white space is going to help your potential customers focus on the content it surrounds. So do not, whatever you do, feel the need to fill all the space on this flyer. Space is your friend. With this template we've got a lovely big space for a fun image here, so don't waste the opportunity to go all kind of corporate with a boring stock image. Make sure you use something that fits your brand, connects with what you are offering, who you are, but make sure it's fun. You've got seconds to grab someone's attention and a big fun image is going to be the best way to do that. It's always best to use your own images, and with the quality of phone cameras there really is no excuse for not creating a gallery of original images to use in your own design work. But of course if you do need to use stock library, just approach it with caution. Stock images tend to be a bit cliched and yes, your customers will spot them a mile off. So think instead a little bit outside of the box and maybe choose something that your audience wouldn't necessarily expect. For example, a business flyer doesn't have to come complete with a grey suited smiley businesswoman clutching a briefcase. Of course, as part of Get It, we have our own image library, so you can always pop in there and choose something and you know that you're going to be one of the only people using it. To change the image, just click and delete the one that's in the template. And then just go to Insert, Picture, pick the picture that you want to use, And I'm going to pick this one because I've got a little bit of a thing for Thailand. Click Insert, and that's just going to appear on your page. Now as you can see, it's kind of come in on the side. So what we want to do is we want to rotate it round. So if you go and hover over this little green button, you'll see this circle. And I hold down Shift and then swivel it round, and by holding down Shift you know that you're going to get it exact on the angles, so you're not going to get kind of any wonky images. And then all you want to do is drag it into place on your file. Again, holding down Control, resize the image so that it fits the whole of your flyer, and then now you can see it's sitting on top, and that's not ideal, so we want to send it to the back. So to do that, again, right click or control click if you're using a Mac, and you can go down to Arrange and you can see that you can bring it to the front or send it to the back. So we're going to send it all the way to the back, and as you can see in this little preview, it's going to fit quite nicely in the edges. Don't worry about this overspill down the side, that's not going to be, you're not going to be able to see that. But if you're worried about it, you can just resize it. And there we have it, we've replaced the image. A little tip here, if your image is looking a little bit dull, which this one isn't because it's a very beautiful sunny day, don't underestimate the difference a kind of a semi-transparent colour box can have in transforming a dull image. Just give it a try. So for example, if we take, we've got this orange box here, and if I click on that and I just change the transparency, you can see that it adds quite an interesting effect to the image below. So have a little play with that, and if you've got some boring dull images, you can always put a bright coloured box over the top and just give them that little bit of an extra lift. So, what about your logo? Now I haven't forgot your logo, I'm only just mentioning it now because your logo isn't actually that important, but not as much as you think it might be when it comes to creating a flyer that sells. Now a lot of flyers place big logos in the price position, but in terms of selling, they've just got it wrong. People don't really care who you are. They're only interested in how your offer will benefit them, and that means a big logo is just a big distraction that will detract attention from your main offer. So insert your logo somewhere near the bottom of the page, usually the bottom right seems to be a good place. And we've left a space for you on the template down here just underneath your offer. So to add your logo in the same way as what we did with the image, we're going to go to Insert, Picture, or this is a little trick that I always use, it's a bit quicker. If you've got another window open on your computer, like I have here, you go in, find the logo that you want to use, highlight it, click on it, and then just simply drag and drop it. You should get this little plus symbol, drop it onto your PowerPoint, and it'll appear ready for you to resize. So we just go back in, click on the logo, drag it to where you want it, hold down Shift to keep the proportions, resize, and then just pop it over the top of the image down in this corner. Okay, so that's about it. Now you have all the ingredients to create a sizzling hot flyer, and all that's left to do is to tidy it up. So you want to check the layout. Does the message flow logically from start to finish? Is there enough white space to ensure the message isn't too cluttered? Have you left margins to ensure the reader's eyes naturally focused onto the centre of your page? And do the colours work together, and do they reflect your brand personality? Is your call to action clear? Have you included your contact details? And that's it, you're done. We're going to use this as a digital flyer, so I'm going to want to save it as a JPEG, which is pretty simple. Just hit File, Save as Pictures, and this is going to save a JPEG to the file that you choose. I'm going to save this as a JPEG, but if you needed to save it as a PNG file or a PDF file, you can just go in and change the file format here. So click on JPEG, click on Save, and there we are. That's our JPEG, created today, ready for you to use, upload to social media, pop it in an email, and just start spreading your message. So there you have it. How to create a highly effective flyer that will not only look fantastic, but also make you a fast return on your investment, quickly and easily. And if you'd like to get your hands on Get It by Design, which I mentioned in the video, you'll find a link below where you can check it all out now. I hope you found this video tutorial useful and that you'll like what you see on the next page so much that I'll be seeing a lot of you online soon. I believe that everyone should have a business and life that's by design, and now you can, for less than what you'd spend on coffee every month. So give that link a click, and creating stunning graphics that deliver a serious return for your business will be as simple as a really simple thing.